What is going on, my Cardano and crypto friends? It is your friend Jack here, and in today's video, we're going to be discussing and having a friendly chat really about why people lose money in the Cardano ecosystem and in general, cryptocurrency land. I'm not going to try to be an absolute savant and tell you that I'm a financial miracle maker in this video. Really, this is going to be a friendly chat of sorts where I discuss and tell you what I've done wrong, because believe me, I've lost a lot of money and potential, as I'm sure you have too if you're watching this video. And in general, anyone inside of a crypto market is going to have highs and lows in terms of their investment standpoints. And in today's video, I want to discuss some of those lows, some of those highs, and where people get off the bus too soon, or where people just never get off the bus in general and never cash out or never realize any gains. First off, a little bit of backstory of my current scenario. I recently sold 50,000 of my Cardano, more specifically around 68,000 of my Cardano, and that was 2/3 of my Cardano. And I sold it at a very low point in Cardano's price history. And a lot of people are thinking, you're an idiot, you're stupid. Well, in reality, some people like myself have received cryptocurrency as income. And if it's income, it's taxable. You have to claim a loss. Otherwise, you're going to be drowning in a lot of money that you just don't have because your cryptocurrency is not worth that much anymore. Same goes for if you're making gains in NFTs or you're multiplying your cryptocurrencies with staking or other methods. That is going to come back to bite you, and taxes are a real thing, especially when it comes to fiscal year ends and managing all these things that you don't think about can really offset your investing plan. So rule number one, or one reason why people don't quite make money in crypto is largely due to taxes and not planning out in advance, myself included, and then having to claim a loss or not being able to claim a loss even sometimes and having to pay taxes that they just don't have the money to pay. And I myself did do this. Luckily, my corporation was set up in a way that basically my fiscal year end was different than the traditional fiscal year end. So I got some benefits there. I made it out okay. And I had an advisor, which I paid some decent amount of money to help me out in that situation. Doing things yourself, winging it usually is not going to work so well. If you're going to be investing also, myself, I wouldn't have to worry about it too much if I'm just someone who's adding money into Cardano and not taking profits. But in my case, I have income. So if you people have income in cryptocurrency, whether it be staking, NFTs selling, especially larger profits, definitely make sure you're thinking about these things ahead of time. Now, diving more into a market perspective side of things, and when prices go up and prices go down, bear markets, bull markets, there's a lot to be said about why people lose money here. And me, myself, I haven't even been through a full cycle. I'm not an expert, so I'm just going to tell you what I think happens and how I think it goes. And you can tell me in the comments if you agree or not. But either way, Bitcoin was at one point $69,000. It's now $23,000. So think about that. Everyone at $69,000, myself included, was thinking, oh, $100,000, especially with people's plans and predictions. Everyone was on board for $100,000. That never happened, and maybe it won't for a long time now. But the truth is, no one really knows, and everyone is uncertain at this point about prices. When it comes to things building, Bitcoin, Cardano, Ethereum, all of these things are further along in their roadmaps and just fundamentally stronger than they were when they're at the peak prices. Which is why it is not the greatest idea to sell now, especially if you have conviction in your assets. Maybe you were someone who had conviction in something like Luna, that went down to nothing. And it's hard to gain conviction in cryptocurrency, thinking it won't go down to zero as well. To be honest, a lot of risk is here in cryptocurrency land, but taking a risk and managing it is a different story. And some things you can't see coming, some things will blindside you. But ultimately, if you stick around long enough, I do believe that you can make some profitable trades or profitable investments long term, especially in the event that you invest in a cryptocurrency or blockchain that does something revolutionary and changes people's life for the better. For me, Cardano is that one. That's what I'm picking. That's what I make videos on every day. And over time, even though it's at 50 cents now, I do think we will reach new all-time highs at some point, whether it's this year, whether it's next year, whether it's the year after. I'm okay with that. Ultimately, my plan is to stack more Cardano, learn more about the ecosystem and enhance the experience of the users coming on to onboard them and that type of thing, so we can get more people into this Fugazi Ponzi scheme, apparently, that everybody thinks crypto is, which I don't think so. But who knows? Only time will tell. Cardano is my main investment, and cryptocurrency in general is a risky game. Even especially now where stocks are considered risky, making drastic moves to the upside and downside day to day, having as much volatility as crypto sometimes, especially in tech stocks. Although I think one of the biggest reasons people lose money in cryptocurrency isn't just because they don't have conviction, or they sold at the bottom. Like, these things happen, but mostly because people don't stick around long enough. You can make a loss, but you can also make a larger gain than said loss. And this is obvious. It's easier said than done. Maybe it won't happen for some people and you'll lose even more money. This is a gambling type of scenario in many cases. So I wouldn't just go blindly throw your money in something. If it seems like a good idea, do your research, think about it, and think also, can I afford to lose this? Me, myself, I'm 20, 21 or 22. Sometimes I forget what age I am. I'm in my mom's basement. Worst case scenario, everything goes to zero and I have no money. I can make the money back. And also, I'm not going to be out of a house because rent is really cheap here and my bills are very minimal. So have a backup plan, have an emergency fund, whatever you need to do. I'm not a financial advisor, only give friendly advice. But many people back in the 2017 peak who lost all of their money were probably in despair, just down in the dumps and not doing so hot. So they left the space and they never came back. If they stick around, if they didn't sell their crypto for a massive loss and they maybe believed in the things that were here today, or were here then and now are here today, like Cardano, Ripple, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, those four that were back in that bubble of the top 10, they would have been profiting gigantically, right? So who knows where the future takes us? I don't know if we're going to go to $3 anytime soon in Cardano land or $100,000 in Bitcoin. No one really knows, but what I do know is that a lot of people have stayed around and profited from it and recovered from their losses time and time again for the last many cycles. Assuming history is going to repeat itself is also a bold assumption, but you have to keep in mind we are in a risk tense zone here. We are not taking zero risks being in cryptocurrency investments, and usually on the edge of a new evolution of change for tech and just new things coming in general. There is going to be some risk, and I don't know if you've heard this before, but no risk, no Rari, things like that. They seem to hold true, especially in cryptocurrency land. And if you've already made a loss and you still have conviction, what's the point of not sticking around? At least that's how I view it. It's certainly much easier for me when most of my income is centered around Cardano and cryptocurrency. Obviously, I have financial incentives to be here to learn, but also just having a genuine interest in cryptocurrency and what they're here to build has made it a lot easier. Not just being in it for the money definitely separates a lot of this market sentiment from how I actually feel about the technology that's being built. And I do think that is the biggest difference in being able to stay around and learn even through a bear market versus not being able to do so. Lastly, I want to mention that I am partnering with ApeWatch to track all of my wallets in my portfolio. So if you do want to see all my moves, you'll be able to do so very shortly. Right now, you can see my main NFT buy and sell wallet. I will leave a link down in the description of pretty much every video going forward. And you can also go to the main page and see the stick fricks, which is my project. Click on them, see the holders of those, and have some fun seeing the interesting stats of the collection of stick fricks coming soon. But in general, if you want to track my moves, if you want to see what I'm doing, what my NFTs are, and all that good stuff, you can do it with ApeWatch. And also, it's free to try out for yourself, and you can have some pretty useful interactions tracking your own portfolio if you want to do that too. Anyways, that's it for today's video. It's been your friend Jack. Stake with the Jack Stake Pool to earn passive on your ADA, and have a great freaking day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.